Hi guys, I hope everyone is doing well and thank you so much for joining me. So as I indicated a few minutes ago, I will be talking about your mindset and how changing your mindset can essentially change your life. Now the first point that I really want to talk about is how your mindset can affect your growth. How the mindset that you have can prevent you from reaching to that point in your life where you can live a comfortable life. You know, some people, they say that, I don't want to be rich, I just want to be comfortable. Now my question to those people is, what do you think being rich entails? Because essentially, in order for you to be comfortable, you have to be rich. You see, the thing is that that sort of mindset comes from our understanding of what is taught to us in the scriptures, which is that the love of money is the root of all evil. So you see, it is not money that is the root of all evil, but the love of it. It is when you cherish money to the point where you start storing it up and not helping the people in your family or the people around you who need your help. When you start making money define you, when you start putting that before people, that is when you actually are going wayward and you are now living up to the scriptures, which is that the love of money is the root of all evil. However, money in and of itself is not a bad thing. You actually need it in order to survive, in order to take care of basic prerequisites. You need money. So that is one aspect of the mindset that actually helps to limit us as we reach for greatness in life. And so this evening, I am not going to stay long, but I just wanted to talk to you about how having a limiting mindset can actually affect your growth. There's a psychologist, her name is Carol Dweck, and she speaks about the mindset and how that actually affects you. And she speaks actually about two different mindsets, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Now, what she essentially says, and I tend to agree with, is that when you have a fixed mindset, you actually inhibit your growth. Because what that mindset does is that it tells you that you were born to do a certain thing, or you were born to play a certain sport and to maybe go pro as a basketballer or a footballer. And what that does is that it inhibits you, because you may have other gifts that you fail to develop because you believe that you were born to do a certain thing, or you were born to be a certain way. That fixed mindset can also come about through the process of socialization, whether it is in your home or in school. Hi, Mr. Percival. Hi, Miss Levy. Hi, Jack. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. So essentially what she's saying is that when you have a fixed mindset, it actually inhibits you because you do not see yourself as operating outside of the scope of what you believe to be true about you. So there are some people who are born into a family of, say, doctors, or a family of lawyers, or a family of pro ball players. And so they feel like they should just continue along that same trajectory and just keep the family tradition going. However, the truth might be that they have certain other gifts that are totally different from what obtains in the tradition. And those gifts would actually take them to high places, but they fail. So, hi Miss Bennett, thank you, and I'm doing well, I hope you are too. They fail to develop those gifts because they feel as though if they do that, they would be venturing off the path that their family has taken, and in some way they would probably disappoint themselves or disappoint their family. And so what I want to talk to you about is basically how you should allow yourself to be free, allow yourself to explore you and to show the world your authentic self. And that is a part of your development. So then let's just get right into why having a limiting mindset can really cripple you and prevent you from growing. The first thing is that when you have a limiting mindset, it does not allow you to explore your true potential. It does not allow you to explore the God-given talents that you have. You see, having talent alone is not enough. You have to be able to use those talents. And in order to use a talent, you have to study them, understand them, and then learn how to use them to your advantage. That is how you grow. So in other words, then you have to get rid of this fixed mindset that is preventing you from becoming your best self. The other thing is, don't be afraid to consult other people. Sometimes the people around you, the people you spend your time with, they can tell you more about yourself than even you realize because they are watching you. You are basically operating on a stage called the world, and people are seeing you, people are watching what you do. And so sometimes the best people to find out from what you're good at is the people around you, the people who see you operating in your natural state every day. So sometimes if you're unsure, you might want to consult with these people. I know that in the school system, you're just taught to go to school, go to basic school or elementary school, learn to read. And then the natural progression is that once you learn to read, then you move on to the next level and you go to grade school. And then you do well in your exams and you go to high school and so on and so forth. And that is good. I am not averse to education. For people who know me, I spent a lot of time going to school. I went to school all my life until I was about 28, did multiple degrees, went to law school and all of these things. And that was amazing because knowledge is power. However, if you have this knowledge and you're not using it, you're still not going to grow. And if you have other skills that you may have developed outside of the knowledge that you gained via the school system, and you don't develop those skills, sooner than later you're going to either lose them or you're just going to die with them, and that would have been a waste. So again, you want to actually assess yourself to see what are the things that you're thinking about. Another thing is that when you have a negative mindset, you prevent yourself from growing because you keep everything to yourself. Sometimes you don't share with other people, and sometimes if you share what you know with the right people, they can actually reveal to you what you don't know and what you can do to actually put yourself in a more advantageous position. So the thing is that in addressing a limiting mindset, how you really do that is when you actually seek to explore your gifts that you have. Sometimes you have gifts that you didn't even know you had. So if you have an inclination to try something new, maybe you should do it. Because sometimes it is trying something new that you actually develop something that was always inside of you that you didn't realize that you had. And so you want to make sure that you focus your mind, make a deliberate effort to focus your minds on thinking positively, focus your mind on learning more. And that basically allows me to segue into the second point that I'm going to speak about, which is how we can change your mindset to change your life. And to do that, I'm going to touch on the second point that the psychologist raises. Her name is Carol Dweck. And that is the point of a growth mindset. So again, she says there are two types of mindset, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. For those who will be joining live, I hope you ask yourself some questions after you watch this video. You know, what am I thinking about? I know it seems simple. Ostensibly, you're saying, of course I know what I'm thinking about. But the other thing is that you want to know what it is that you think about constantly. And secondly, how the things that you're thinking about are actually affecting your life. Because whatever you do now is going to materialize in who you become tomorrow. Hi sis, thanks for joining. Hi Mr. Robinson, thanks for joining. What you think about now and what you do now is going to determine the life that you live later. So you have to be cognizant of that. You have to intentionally choose to feast your minds upon the right things. And as I go along, guys, if you have any comments or any questions, anything to share, feel free to leave it in the comment section and I will address it either here or later. But I will definitely get to it. Oh yes, I'm happy to see you as well, sis. So the growth mindset, what she's saying is that when you think in terms of growth, you realize that even though you may know a lot now, even though you have a lot of knowledge now, you still have room for growth. You can still strengthen your strengths. You can still learn new things. So when you have that mindset that you can learn new things and that you're adaptable, then that is how you grow. Because you might have something that you're interested in, but you don't really know the fullness of it. And as we know, when you're not sure about something, when you don't have all the information on something, your confidence is much lower. You don't feel confident enough to try it because you don't have enough information. And basically what the growth mindset says is that if you don't have enough information now, you have to put yourself in a position where you acquire it. So you might have to do some research or speak to some people who are already doing the things that you want to do, or read a book by some of these people, because oftentimes these people tell their entire story in their books, how they got started, what are the pitfalls, what are the mistakes they made. Actually, they give you a better starting point. They allow you to start in an advantageous position because knowing what are the pitfalls, you can now avoid them. So you might want to change your mindset to one that, okay, I don't know how to do it now, but I can learn. You see, I have always had a can-learn attitude, and because of that, I've been able to overcome or avert many obstacles just because I was willing to go ahead and learn what I needed to so as to be able to face them. And of course, that is easier said than done. But you have to first formulate the idea in your mind that you can learn, and secondly, that you want to learn, and thirdly, you have to then take the step to learn. I guarantee you that once you do that, you will come across people who are able to assist you. It's just how the universe works. It's just how the law of attraction works. When you start doing the right things, when you start speaking the right way and saying the right things, when you start exuding positivity, then people will gravitate toward you. And contrary to popular belief, not everybody is there to see your demise. There are a lot of people on the sideline. They're very quiet sometimes, but they're silently cheering you on. You have to believe that. Stop thinking negatively. Stop thinking that everybody wants to see you fall down, and so you have to have this protective shield all the time because people are trying to tear you down. People don't want to see you grow. There are some people who actually want to see you grow. And they might not say it, but they're silently cheering you on. I cannot tell you how many people were silently sitting on my timeline or in my friends list on Facebook. I forgot we were friends on Facebook. And then once I started to get out there and share what I know with everyone, they have been coming out and they have been saying, you know, you could try this, or they're giving me suggestions. They are sharing their own stories with me, and that's empowering. Camille says, thanks for yet another round of empowering words. You're most welcome. I really am glad that, you know, what I'm sharing is gratifying to some people and is helping some people in one way or another. I'm always happy to share. And guys, if you have any suggestions about mindset, you can share it as well so that the other viewers can benefit as well. Because that's how we grow, by sharing with each other, by bouncing ideas off of each other, and by basically being positive and sending positive energy into the universe. That's how we grow, and that's how we attract more positive people to us. So let's wrap this up by just basically addressing how changing your mindset can change your life. The first thing is that you have to recognize your ability to choose. One of the things is that sometimes we cower under pressure, or we cower under authority when certain people are in the room, or when we have to answer to certain people. We feel like we have to do what they say. And so we don't realize that we have the franchise, we have the ability to choose not to be a part of something that we know deep down is going to affect us negatively. Something that we know deep down is going to throw us off course and is going to inhibit our growth. But because we give power, we're respecters of persons, and we give power to people more than they deserve. So then we diminish and we shrink under the authority that is before us, and we don't realize that we can choose. You can choose to have a positive mindset, irrespective of your starting point. Your starting point does not dictate that your finishing point must be the same. In other words, what I'm saying is that if your starting point is one of abject poverty, it doesn't mean that you have to end that way. What you have to realize that though you started there, that is basically you having an advantage in that you now know both sides, because once you start in that low state of being poor, of not being able to experience certain things in life, you have a greater appreciation for small things as you grow. You realize that growth and achievement and success takes hard work, and if you're willing to do that, it basically catapults you into a more advantageous position, because now you have your point of reference, which is where you started. So you do have the ability to choose success. You have the ability to choose positivity. You have the ability to do it now. If there is something that you want to do, you have the ability to choose to do it now. That starts with your mentality. The other day I was on Facebook and I saw a friend of mine, a longtime friend that I worked with years ago. He stated that he would like to start a blog. And I know that gentleman, he's very smart. And I would be so intrigued to read a blog written by him. But you know what he said? He said, one day I'm going to start a blog. I don't remember what the blog was going to be about, but he said one day. And I just had this inclination to say to him, one day is not a day. Why not today? Start it. Do some research. Watch a video to see how you establish a blog. Or buy a domain and just get started. You don't have to finish it in a day, but if you start, you will likely finish. If you don't start, then you may keep saying one day and one day never come, because there is no day called one day. So you can do it now, and that starts in your mind. You have to make an intentional decision that you're going to start now. The second thing is practice positive mental attitude. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, he speaks about the positive mental attitude and how that affects you in your daily life. When you think positive, even when negative things happen to you, you will realize that there is a way out. You just need to learn it. The third thing that I want to touch on is don't shy away from failure. I have spoken on this many different times in different contexts, but essentially what I'm saying is that failure is something that is inevitable. Don't shy away from it. Don't say that I'm not going to try this thing because I might fail. Why? Because you might fail whether or not you think you have all the variables aligned, whether or not you think you have all your ducks in a row, you could still fail. The fact is that winning, success, is not guaranteed in every single thing that we do. But what is guaranteed? Learning. You might not win, you might not succeed in your mind, but you will learn. So you have to look at the problem, look at the situation from the perspective of the possibility of failure, yes, but the fact that you still have an opportunity to learn. And so that's what I am referring to when I say that you have to be willing to change your mindset to one of positivity. And that way you will realize that you have the ability like anyone else to learn. Hi sis, it's so good to see you. So guys, I really appreciate you coming and joining me. I'm really happy to see so many of you. And I will keep sharing these nuggets of success because each one teach one. Whatever I know, I'll share with you. Just as you've been sharing with me. This is a space where we basically bounce ideas off of each other and share what we know with each other, and that's how we grow. I'm inviting you to join my group. It's called Manifest Your Greatness, Believe and Grow. In that group, we share positivity with individuals who are of one mind. We all think that if you think in a positive way, if you change your mindset to one of positivity, you will start seeing life in terms of possibility. And you will not see your ostensibly negative situations as limiting you forever. Yes, you know that they impact you, but you will start looking for solutions. Because there is one thing to identify the problems that we're having, but you cannot stop there. Because for every problem, there is a solution. I remember one time I was listening to T.D. Jakes and he said that he was praying, I think it was a New Year sermon, and he said, Lord, make me an answer. You can look for it on YouTube. It's very inspiring. He asked God to make him an answer, and that's what it is. Every problem has a solution. Every problem has an answer, and every one of you, you're an answer for something or for someone. There is something that you were called to do. That's where the answer comes in. That's what makes you an answer. You have a purpose. You're here for a reason, and so you have to start tapping into that self. Do as much introspection, do some journaling, find out what it is that you were called to do, what are your interests, what are you good at, and start changing your mindset. Stop thinking that it's not possible because you're poor, or it's not possible because you were abused, or it's not possible because there are these people that you have to take care of first, or it's not possible because of the children. It is possible because of the children. You want to give them a life that you didn't have. And that's why you have to work hard. I remember my mother went back to school after dropping out of high school after doing just one term in high school. My mom went back to school at age 45. We graduated from college together. I didn't even know my mom had it in her. I always knew she was smart because she helped me with my homework throughout school, throughout primary school, but I didn't know she was going to go back to school one day, and yet she did at age 45 after 6 children. At no point in time did she ever say, at least not to us, that it's over, it's not possible. And she went and she graduated, she did very well, and we graduated from college together. It's never too late. Colonel Sanders, who started Kentucky Fried Chicken, he didn't start that until after age 65, after he retired. And he looked into himself and he said, what have I accomplished? What legacy am I leaving for my children? And then he remembered, what is the one thing that I am better at than anyone else? And he said it was cooking, and he invested in that. By the age of 88, he was a multi-billionaire. Not millionaire, billionaire. What does that say to you? It's possible. And it's necessary for you to invest in yourself, for you to adjust your mindset to one of positivity. And essentially, what's going to happen is that you are going to win. Guys, subscribe to my website at www.Shauna-kaye Brown.com. I will place a link in the bio after leaving this call. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, Shauna-kaye Brown, and subscribe to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at SKB Renaissance Woman. It's always good to share with you. Until next time, have yourselves a great evening, and thank you for joining.